it's Rhea. Wherever you are, whatever time it is, I hope you are enjoying yourself. So today we'll be working in my main sketchbook, and the spread that I will be working on is actually already drafted up and sketched. So I'm gonna show a brief clip from my crusty phone camera of kind of what it looks like, but I don't even know if that helped, to be honest. So this time around, instead of jumping straight into coloring like I normally do, I wanted to sort of show what it looks like whenever I'm outlining my sketches, because normally I just omit the sketching process altogether because I want to keep the video concise and not have too much information to have to shrink down. But I'm sure there's people that wonder what my process looks like whenever I'm building everything up instead of just the coloring and finalization of it. So let me know if this works out for you. Would you like to see this more before I just jump straight into coloring a spread? Are you interested in the process of me at least outlining my sketches and touching them up a little bit more? I'm sure at some point I'll add the actual sketching process itself in future videos too, but for now I feel like this is a nice in-between because you kind of see me put together the sketch without me actually doing the sketching part. Also, let me know if the speed works for you as well, because right now it's in regular real time. I am gonna speed it up a little bit whenever we get to the sketch of the little hamster, but it shouldn't speed up too much. I kind of call it a more digestible speed, since right now the typical speed that I go at, it feels a little bit more I don't know, I'm worried that people might have their eyes glaze over or get impatient, which you can always times 2 speed, but I just wanted to run that by y'all and check what your thoughts were. Also here I'm just cheekily using my kneaded eraser to do what I probably should have done before I started outlining everything, which is do a general wash, if you can, a wash of erasing over my sketches. That way it's even lighter and the line art that I make is even clearer, because it gets kind of messy sketching with colored pencil, and it's kind of one of the things that I want to work on and figure out more. But for now, at least making sure that it's a little bit cleaner before I do the line art, it always helps me. But hey, we're having a nice relaxing theme today. It's about self-care and gentle energies. And some of you might be like, I mean, thanks, it's kind of random, but for those of you who didn't know, the US election happened last week, and it's been quite a time for a lot of people since then, for various valid reasons. Honestly, even outside of that absolute chaos, I myself am no stranger to daunting moments in life, especially as someone who struggles a lot with mental health. I feel like this year has been fairly decent and yet horrible at the same time for me, and that's a really weird thing to say, but I don't know how else to phrase it. So, needless to say, even if somehow nobody else needed this kind of spread or energy, I sure did. So here we are. I wanted to do a spread that kind of highlighted a warm, soft energy, or to make sure I get all those content creator artist buzzwords in, this is a very cozy, comfy, soft girl vibe slay queen. I'm sorry. Honestly though, I might say vibe and energies and soft, gentle probably a lot, so sorry in advance, I guess. I'm sure y'all would take it over me whipping out a bunch of random SAT words, so I will spare you. But memes aside, I just feel like it was really needed. I don't know how you guys use your sketchbooks, and sometimes even I question about how I should be using mine, but I do think it's fun to sort of do a spread that captures the energy that you have or need at the moment. I guess you could see it similar to journaling, and I definitely encourage using sketchbooks that way, or to at least not be shy of incorporating your mood into them whenever you're drawing and stuff. I just feel like it adds character, you know? It's funny because there's other spreads that I've done in this exact same day earlier that were a lot more experimental and dark, or just moody and conceptual, and it reminded me of the old art that I would used to do. And I don't know, it's funny because I did this whole cutesy spread later on. By the way, I started filming this at midnight, so I am indeed wearing pajamas, if you were wondering. You can wear pajamas too if you want. Go ahead, I encourage it. This is a no-judge zone, and I also feel like this classifies as a draw with me, even though it's not real-time. You guys probably got a ton of real-time videos lately anyway, so you know what? I'm glad to be back at voiceover mode. So yeah, but I do feature real-time drawing, so again, let me know how it goes. If you would prefer this style of more real-time footage while doing draw with me quote-unquote type videos. I feel like everybody's draw with me videos are different, or it's I don't know, everybody has their own style to it. I just keep experimenting with different things until someone tells me otherwise. But I have fun with it. Depends on how I'm like what I'm drawing and how it turns out, I guess. Because if it's something that takes a lot of effort in, like if I'm going like super ham on a spread like I did with the fall spread, then usually a lot's gonna end up being sped up or cut out or both. So I kind of just want to show the overall fun of creating like a really like majestic looking spread. But this time around, because the theme of the video and the theme of the spread especially is just more lax, I kind of figured like real time would be nice, especially because it makes it a little bit more calming to watch probably. I have to keep in mind that not a lot of people are just like putting this on as background noise while they like draw or work on other stuff. I personally am always doing that. I'm kidding. I try not to always do it. I try to like actually watch people like work on stuff, but I feel like I'm always working on something myself, so oftentimes I do just have videos accompanying me, but I do also like look up and watch every now and then as well. So basically I'm mostly fine with whatever someone's video content is for the most part. If it's art related, I'm like, heck yeah, cool, we're both having fun together. But in my case, again, some of y'all are literally just watching, so I hope that this is a little bit more of a digestible and calming experience. I'm like in the moment, real time, gaining awareness that people actually want to watch me put together something, and that just makes my brain almost explode. But thank you! Thanks for coming along with us. Also, I did start speeding things up now that I've passed the hamster, but you probably can't even really tell that much, can you? Because it's like, yeah, I'm going a little bit faster, but it's not anything like insanely quick like my usual speed ups. But yeah, what I draw in the spread is inspired a lot by thoughts of self-care and just recharging and keeping positive energy when life feels like it's a lot. I'd say even the style is influenced by that theme, and maybe that's why I like it so much. I'm telling you right now, there's a lot of low energy or low effort on the spread. Not because I wasn't invested, but I found the theme and the mood as an opportunity to just have fun and keep things simple. I also am kind of like in the midst of trying to discover what kind of simplified style that I want, or like a cutesier, like more chibi-esque mini style, and there's so many different options for me that I always get confused on like which one to keep consistently. I might end up with multiple, but either way, this was a fun time to sort of experiment with that. And also, I was trying to figure out what medium to use for coloring this, and I will say markers, that was definitely a very spot on choice. And you're gonna watch and be like, Rhea, this is patchy as hell, like low-key, did you mean for it to look like that? And yes I did. It's funny, because if y'all have been here for a while, like you know that I love to layer with alcohol markers and just really get in there and add that depth and all that, but in this case, I just wanted to go for like a flat and silly, almost childish look, to be honest. Like very down to earth and gentle. We're not dressing it up to the nines this time, okay? There's other spreads for that, don't worry. But I think part of my actual self-care was letting myself color this spread the way that I did. I don't care about any kind of stroke motion. I mean, I normally don't care about stroke motions because I'm chaotic, but I don't really go over things again. There's no like sense of layering or anything like that. I'm literally just like moving the marker around however I feel like. I feel like keeping the coloring basic and novice looking and then pairing it with colored pencils, using pastel shades. Oh, by the way, I primarily use my Ohuhu pastel marker set for the spread, and it's been such a pleasure. Can I just say that? Like, I've had these for a while, and I feel like the colors have been very helpful in the spread, especially in terms of like skin tones. Like, I remember when I first got it, I was like, these aren't really that pastel. Like, what do I really do with these? But skin tone wise, I've been able to get a good amount of like different shades just from like a few different markers, and it changes drastically if I layer that too, so that's been really nice. And another thing is I feel like the firmness of the nib might be one of my favorites of all the alcohol markers that I've used, and I have Copic markers. I feel like Copic markers are just a little bit too soft, but these are like a really nice like firm soft, like an in-between. I really enjoy it. Oh, another thing too is like the consistency of like the marker ink juice, whatever you want to call it. It's very nice. It flows very smoothly, it's consistent, I don't really have any issues with how it comes out at all, and I'm just glad that they turned out so helpful and nice over the years, because unfortunately I cannot say the same with my set of Sanjoki markers. I was going to use them for one of my recent videos. I was going to use it for the Halloween video, I think, thing. But then I found out that all of the colors, for some reason, or at least most of the colors, a lot of the ones that I was swatching for an illustration, they have slightly shifted in tint. It's just ever so slightly more orange yellowish, where there's any kind of pink or red. It's like shifted over. And that threw me off completely. I was like, this has never happened to me before. And this is also like the biggest set of markers that I bought. So if somebody knows anything about like why that might be happening or like what the deal is, otherwise I might just give them to a friend or one of my cousins, but it's still a very good set to use. Like, it's still helpful. It's just, I was not expecting that. I had swatched all the markers and everything, so yeah, sad moments. Now, I did think my colored pencil would be safe, but it does get pretty messy when they clash, which is kind of just on me, but I don't know. Personally, I like how colored pencil looks sometimes as an outline, and to be honest, I could have just started coloring without outlining all of it first and then outlining at the end to avoid smudging issues, but I'm stubborn. I may also just need to like try using fine liners, but I don't want to. Like, it's just, I feel like it's gonna make things look too sharp, and that's not what I wanted here. I wanted it to be soft vibes TM. And so medium wise, I did consider watercolor or acrylic markers too to color this spread. I think watercolor is great at getting that soft look, and it'd be great for like the simple washes that I was going for in this spread. But when I thought about all the brush managing and the water management and all that, I was like, never mind. I did consider acrylic markers too, because I love that solid flat look that they can give. But I feel like because of that, I might also end up having it come out too bold, so I held back. And I don't really think I have too many pastel colors when it comes to acrylic markers anyways, so. But overall, I think it comes out really nice. Like, it's just simple and gentle looking. It's imperfect, but it just feels very healing, and that's what I needed, so. Also, to finally talk about the things that I am drawing, so I guess like the objects or subjects, again, it's fueled by thoughts of things with soft healing energy, and I, for one, would love to hug a giant stuffed animal to sleep, but I have to settle for small to medium ones, and it's just so sad. I always wanted like that giant Snorlax plush, but now I'm sure there's gotta be another Pokemon that I would want instead of Snorlax, but Snorlax is pretty cute too. But, so yeah, the first one, as you can see, it's just this girl hugging this giant stuffed animal. Also, I was kind of shook that I drew this girl wearing a hoodie and she has a blanket on. Like, she's either really cold or the depression is hitting bad, or both, I don't know, but I do want a giant cat plush like that. That would be so cute. It's kind of like a calico, except I guess calicos are mostly white with like the orange and black spots, but I was just playing around. And even then, I feel like, I don't know, we just look so cute and friendly. I love the eyes that I gave it. I also love putting Eepy on the blanket because I don't care if I'm in my 20s. I'm gonna say cute, silly phrases if I want to because cringe culture is stupid and I am free. But other things, the two girlies to the right that I am working on, they're just to emphasize being there for other people just as much as yourself if you can help it. I feel like this world could really use selflessness and empathy. Like, it's insane. Please. At some point, try to be there for someone other than yourself. Also, that's just what friends are for. Like, even if it's sharing a silly meme if you both feel down, or like getting on call with each other for a bit if you can't meet up in person. We're not here forever, so we might as well be kind while we have each other's presence, you know? I also just love drawing cute girls, so. And the fact that they're listening to music together is like so cute. Aww. Also, the kanji text between the first two doodles, it's just a very common phrase in Japanese that means it's okay or I'm alright. Daijoubu. But honestly, I just need a kanji practice, and it kind of backfired because it's even harder to draw in a stylized form, and I'm lucky that these specific kanji characters weren't as complicated. I did kind of mess up on the second one because there's a little like drop at the very end of one of the stems, I guess you could say, and I missed it. So it doesn't, it's missing its little stem, but honestly I could have just used hiragana to begin with, but alas, I wanted to play the hard game, and so here we are. I did also think about this phrase because it reminds me of the way Cardcaptor Sakura says it, which is kind of like her, I don't know if it's like a catchphrase. She kind of says like it's her special spell, which is like saying I will definitely be alright. And I love Cardcaptor Sakura so much. Oh my gosh. I need to finish the cleared card manga, but we're not here to talk about manga this time. Below them, there is the teacup because I'm an avid tea lover. What can I say? And the phrase on it is actually based off of so one of the BTS members that a lot of people might know as Suga. Why does it feel so weird to say their stage names? Yoongi. He did a sort of like, I guess not radio show. It was kind of like it was during 2020 when everybody was shut in and they were kind of just like making content to like help people feel better, I guess. And one of the things that he did was kind of like instead of just doing a regular live where you normally show up on camera and you like chat with everybody, etc. He kind of just did one where it was just his voice, and it was kind of like a radio type vibe to it. So that he called in English it's just Honey FM, but it was just a very precious time. Like, it's been ages since I've listened to it, but I keep telling myself I need to go back and listen to it because he would just kind of like, I'm pretty sure he would like read people's qualms and stuff and just kind of like answer it the best way possible or whatever, but he would just kind of like talk and chill. It was like a really nice vibe. And at the end of it, he would always say, "Army," or aka like the fan base, he's like, "You guys did well today too." And it's so simple, but like the phrase makes me so happy, and I'm sure this phrase has been used in multiple aspects outside of just this by many people, but I always feel like it's a nice thing to say. Actually, it kind of reminds me of how one of my friends, like, she always says like, "Oh, you're doing great." Like, whenever we check in with each other, it's just, "You're doing great," even if I was like, "Hey," so like I barely was able to like eat today and get out of bed, but I tried. And she's like, "You're doing great." And I'm like, "I'm a mess, but thanks." I appreciate it. As for the candle, it's just because I love fire and arson. I'm kidding. Normally I have candles lit, and especially now that it's finally getting ever so slightly cool outside, that makes me happy. But yeah, candles keep a nice warmth, and they also provide a good light source with a lovely aroma. And they're just soothing to watch, so I highly recommend picking up some if you're like in a down type of mood. It's just nice to have with you, accompanying you, a little flame. The hamsters, because again, I feel like sometimes it's nice to draw non-human things. Maybe it's because 90% of my art journey has been drawing just people, so I'm starting to enjoy other things more, even though I'll always probably draw people the most. Also, I'm not sure why I keep drawing winter accessories on any animals that I draw lately, but that's why he has a scarf. He's also holding a sunflower seed because my brain went full-on Hamtaro, so here we are. I loved that show as a kid, oh my gosh. It's also funny because I didn't watch Inuyasha until like maybe a couple of years ago, and so I was listening to like the English dub of it as well instead of like watching the traditional Japanese version. But so when I heard what's her name? Kagome, when I heard her voice, I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's Miss Laura from from Hamtaro. Wow." I love how I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna stop talking about manga and I start talking about anime instead." Love that for me. But as for the journal, I put that there because if nothing else, I feel like it helps a lot to journal or just note down your thoughts somewhere, like the good, the bad, the ugly, everything. I feel like without writing my thoughts, I would have definitely went insane by now because I don't like to share my problems. And therapy is expensive, so it provides a little space for me to feel as close as I can to screaming on a snowy, silent mountain by myself. Which I would still like to do at some point, but oh, I put "protect the hope" and "keep going" on there because it's two important phrases. Really, I don't think people say "protect the hope." Like, normally it's something like "keep the faith," but they're very similar. And the point is to like keep positivity alive in this world and never let it burn out because there's people clinging to it. As for "keep going," it's pretty self-explanatory. Oftentimes I do not want to keep going on anything, but I have to tell myself just to see what may be ahead in case it makes me happy. So, and it's never really failed me yet, so I suppose I will always keep going until I can't. Lastly is what looks like a self-insert of me at my desk on my computer, because if nothing else, you can always be online all day and ignore reality. I say that, but I'm not chronically online in the sense that I'm on social media because that exhausts the hell out of me. I mean it more like, as someone who doesn't have a TV, I'm constantly using my computer to watch either anime or YouTube, and whenever I'm not doing that, I am gaming into the abyss. I haven't even played anything exciting or like super hip or something like that. It's literally just like League of Legends and Wuthering Waves. Like, hello? Oh my god. I did consider drawing my Switch in there because like I do try to like use that as well, but I've already finished the only two games that I own on there. Everybody was running around during election day like, oh, I can't deal with this, I'm gonna play Stardew Valley, I'm gonna play Animal Crossing, and I was just sat there alone. I was alone, I had nothing. So I opened Wuthering Waves because I had to grind for Gian's materials, and I got his weapon. Let's go. Okay, why are there so many nerd references here? I'm so sorry. I will say, the thing that is accurate is me having a blanket on at my desk, because I expect that to be me for all of like the colder weather days. It's so nice to have a blanket for some reason. Like, yes, I could put on a hoodie, but a blanket just feels like this majestic cape that I'm wearing. On the contrary, of less realistic things, well, purple hair would be realistic for me, but I can't dye my hair right now. But the other thing is I most certainly do not have two monitors. Hello? I freaking wish. I remember whenever I first got my desktop, I was like, okay, and I'm gonna come back in like a week or a few weeks, and I'm gonna get the other monitor. Girl, that did not happen. I have one and one only. It is fairly big, but I feel like a second monitor would help me a lot, but I don't even have space on my desk. I hardly even have space for my tablet, so I can't imagine having another monitor. I need to figure that out in the future. But yeah, either way, I am usually at my desk, and I usually have multiple tabs open. YouTube is almost always one of them, and it's a fun time. So yeah, more or less, just take time for yourself whenever you need it, because everyone does self-care in different ways, but it's important to know how to look after yourself whenever you're really going through it. You gotta be there for yourself, whether if it means giving more patience, giving less tasks, allowing yourself to be honest with your feelings, or even just like little nice treats, you know? A little boba every now and then. But all of it is self-love, and I feel like that's a very valuable thing to remind yourself that your existence has value. And on that note too, I want you to know, like, because of the potential incoming climate of energy and hostility, my space here on this platform is always inclusive, in the sense that as long as you're not hurting anyone else or yourself, you do you, be as you are. Like, I've gone through many negative emotions in life due to the situations I've been put through solely because of my identity, like the way that I came into existence in this world. Cause truly, if I guess I had to like put myself in a category or whatever, I'm just a black nerdy kind of artsy girl trying to vibe, and somehow that means that I spawned in with my settings automatically on hard mode, and that's just how it is, and I'm like, okay, yikes. Because that shouldn't be how it is, you know? I don't owe anybody to fit inside a box or a certain way for people to accept me, and even more so, like, I shouldn't have to apologize solely because of who I am and for existing. Nobody should. Yeah, if you've ever struggled with being a part of a marginalized group, whether because of race, class, gender identity, orientations, disability, any of that, like, please know you are always welcome here as you are, and anyone, as long as you abide by being chill, like, let's just vibe in existence together. Like, I will support you. You definitely have that space, and I think it's very needed for our futures as well. And I don't mean just people in America, I mean like globally. Like, empathy, again, that and the ability to care for others is so needed. But yeah, like, I don't know how things are gonna go for us here in America or the entire world itself, like, in the future. And to be honest, I'm still kind of processing that news. But seriously, I feel like the support systems and sense of community, like, it's so crucial. This is not a time to be divisive. So, and also on that note, obviously I don't stand for any kind of discrimination, so if that's your vibe, bye! Actually, that was a kind of really wholesome and cutesy way of saying screw off, but there's no need to be too serious. I mean, there's much to be said in a stronger political and revolutionary sense, but there will be a time for that. Right now, we're just here for soft vibes. No fighting. So, worst case scenario, when things feel awful, you can always just sleep, am I right? Hit that, like, log out of life button for a little bit and come back. But yeah, no. Take care of yourselves. Get proper amounts of food. Hydrate yourselves. Stop doom scrolling, please. Go do something nice for yourself instead, like bake something or learn how to crochet or play an instrument, I don't know, game for 12 hours until you like lose your mind, probably what I need to do, but I hope you'll all be okay, and I am here for as long as I can be. So yeah, I hope that we can create things together and have a nice time. As I get to the end of wrapping all of this up, I'm just hoping that the spread was like a fun and cute time for you. Or more like I hope it gave you like good healing energy that you might have needed, or just a reminder to take care of yourself, you know, things like that. I've been working in the sketchbook a lot lately, so I'm hoping to do more videos similar to this, like some featuring fan art stuff, or maybe content of my OCs, hopefully. But yeah, let me know how the style went out, and if you liked me showing the outlining part first before coloring. If you don't have anything to say about the artwork or filming, you can always comment what your favorite self-care method is. But until next time, I want you to do nice things for yourself or for other people. Take a break. Paint your nails like I did. Actually, they could have came out better, and that just goes to show working on nice things often leads to me being critical of myself still, so here we are. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed your time here today, you can let me know by leaving a like. If you're interested to see more of my content, you can always check out my other videos and subscribe. Should I mention the whole notification bell thingy? Like, do people even use that? I don't know, but for reference, if you're new, I am Rhea, or Etheria, and I like making art and art-related content on my channel. I do tend to post weekly videos, and if you would like more timely updates, you can probably just continue to follow me here, or maybe Instagram or Blue Sky. We'll see if I actually post. But until next time, once again, thank you guys so much for watching again, and I wish you a nice rest of your day and week. Take care.